abdominal aorta first. So as the descending aorta goes through the diaphragm, it becomes the abdominal aorta. First branches off are going to be inferior phrenic arteries going up to the underside of the diaphragm. This model doesn't show it, but there's another branch here called the celiac trunk. And off the celiac trunk are 3 branches: common hepatic going to the liver, left gastric going up to the stomach, and the splenic going over to the spleen. Then here you have the superior mesenteric, which feeds the small intestine, ascending colon, and transverse colon. Further down, and notice that it's the left renal vein is tucked up right underneath that superior mesenteric. And further down, you have the inferior mesenteric artery. And then where it splits, we have the common iliac arteries, and the internal one going inside or going deep, and the external iliac artery more superficial. So internal iliac artery, external iliac artery. Also, we have these 2 arteries coming directly off the abdominal aorta, the gonadal arteries. Male would be testicular, female ovarian. And coming off here, you can see the offshoots of the lumbar arteries. There's also veins there, lumbar arteries and veins. Now on the venous side, you have the inferior vena cava with the renal veins. Oh yeah, the renal arteries up in here as well. Renal arteries coming off the abdominal aorta. Inferior vena cava, renal veins. Then we have the right gonadal vein coming directly off of the inferior vena cava. The left gonadal artery comes off the left renal vein. Further down, where it splits, same thing like with the arteries. You have the common iliac veins, internal iliac vein going deep, external iliac vein is more superficial. Also on this model, we have, for muscles, we have the psoas major, PSOAS. On the cadaver, you will see the psoas minor, which is very, very thin compared to the psoas major. The muscle back here above this iliac crest is a quadratus lumborum. Also on this picture, I'm not sure if this test or next test, but sits on the ilium, called the iliacus muscle, ILIACUS. Okay. Then we have the adrenal glands, and coming up to the adrenal glands are the suprarenal artery and vein. Well, the artery's not in this one. A little bit right there. Suprarenal artery, suprarenal veins. Off the kidney, we have the ureters coming up to the kidney. So there's 3 structures in the cadaver that when you look at, just like even if you just look at that section, it's hard to differentiate. But when you take it and follow each one up, you'll be able to tell which one it is. The vein, of course, goes in inferior vena cava, the artery will go to the abdominal aorta, and the ureter goes to the kidney. With the kidney, on the outside, the shell, say of a kidney bean, or the shell of the kidneys, is called the renal capsule. Then inside, the first layer is the renal cortex. The pyramids are the dark structures, and in between each pyramid are the renal columns. So you have the cortex, this layer here, medulla consisting of the pyramids and columns. Renal pelvis is in here, which then connects to the ureter going down to the bladder. And then we can see it, well, we can show it on different video, but we have the iliac crest, pubic tubercle down here, ASIS, anterior superior iliac spine up here, connecting the 2. ASIS, the pubic tubercle, is the inguinal ligament. Pubic bone is down here. In between, we have the pubic symphysis. And down here is the ischium and the ischiotuberosities. And that's it.